Good afternoon, welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Apologies for no video this morning. There was a technical difficulty, and I was out the house and it couldn't be solved via my phone and the YouTube studio. So when I got home this evening, I decided just to delete the upload. It was all fucked. I don't know what happened. But anyway, here I am. I will still be doing the live at 6 o'clock Celtic part. No, 8 o'clock Celtic part time because it's past it. See, everything's just up in the air. See, when one thing goes wrong, everything goes wrong. And Matt O'Reilly, the breaking transfer, Celtic speculation transfer news this evening is the fact that Matt O'Reilly has now been linked with Roma. I'm going to dive straight into the news. There's no use pissing about. I'm going to tell it as it is. There is a report out. Matt O'Reilly is a player that has obviously is sought after, and I was kind of hoping that it would maybe fly under the radar this transfer window, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Matt O'Reilly, Roma now face competition from clubs in England, Spain, Germany, as well as Roma to fight for his signature once the bidding starts. And it looks like it is going to happen in some manner. It means it looks like Matt O'Reilly, there is going to be bids coming for him. It's going to be a case of, can Celtic knock the bids back? Do Celtic have it within them? Let's talk about that on the live at 8 p.m. Celtic part-time tonight. We'll talk about it and we'll discuss it amongst ourselves and tell me what you think. Can Celtic hold off with Matt O'Reilly? Spurs are seemingly interested. Would Matt O'Reilly go back and work with Ange Postecoglou? Would he? I don't think he would. I don't think that they really got on to the best, and I can understand why Ange would like him back as a player. But the comments that you remember at the beginning of the last season now, Matt O'Reilly was one of the ones that was quite vocal about the difference in the coaching between Brendan Rodgers and the ex-Celtic manager Ange Postecoglou. The fact that West Ham are keen on him, he's not going to go to West Ham. I don't care what anyone says. But can they really, realistically keep a hold of Matt O'Reilly this year? Or will it be the one? It's believed that Roma would need to sell at least one player to be able to fund a potential move for the deal. Reports as Bundesliga sides and Atletico Madrid are also still sniffing around. So it'll be interesting to see what happens once the transfer window opens. Liam Scales has put out a message. Liam Scales has openly expressed his desire for the club to secure a permanent deal for Adam Idah. And Idah, who joined Celtic, this one's going to play out, and Celtic have seemingly told Norwich, look, we're not going to wait around forever. And it's my understanding, and it's everyone's understanding, that the fact that the new manager that came into Norwich wants to look at Adam Idah in person. That means they need to wait until they go back to pre-season. Celtic have turned around and said, look, we don't want to wait that long. We want the guy now. So you either deal with us now or we start looking elsewhere. Celtic are playing a game of Russian roulette when it comes to strikers. It's going to be an interesting transfer window. There is going to be a lot of movement. We thought there wouldn't be too much movement. We thought it would be movement at Deadwood, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of movement out the club and a lot of movement in the club also as Brendan Rodgers gets his way and improves the squad. But it's been reported that the one and only Scales says, look, Adam Idah is a fantastic player. I want him 100% to come back to Celtic. Every Celtic fan and everyone at the club would absolutely love Adam back at the club. He was outstanding in a lot of things. Hopefully it will happen, says Adam's time at Celtic obviously ended with the fantastic goal that he scored against the Rangers, the Sevco in disguise, and what was to be the domestic double. Anyway, there is more transfer speculation kicking around. There's news that Glasgow Celtic have concrete interest in a 23-year-old centre-back with his contract set to run out in 2026. Salzburg are also keeping on, but there's not been any final decision yet. It's Daniluk, or whatever, how you ever pronounce it, I don't care. I fucking never pronounce these guys' names right. He is in the Austrian squad for the Euros. So he'll be wanting to watch at the Euros when the Euros start on Friday. We will be watching some of these games now that the speculation is starting to ramp up with Celtic-linked players. We will be looking at them. And if you haven't subscribe to the other channel, for the Euro channel. Make sure you subscribe to that. I will be putting a link down in the description of this video, so you can go and check that out. We'll be checking out all the Euros stuff in that channel, because it's not really Celtic related stuff, so we'll do another channel for it. It makes it easier. Anyway, this guy is in the Austrian squad, so it'll be good to see. Celtic are in the market for another centre back, which says to me that Liam Scales might find it hard. They might struggle to get into the first team next season, especially if Celtic go out and pay good money for a defender, like Brendan Rodgers. But that's the way that it has been at Celtic, and we need to get a couple of guys out the door first of all. Anyway, Celtic look to sign. We're getting linked with all sorts today. Guy with Leicester also, that used to be at Leicester. Anyway, Celtic linked. Let me just get another headline. Celtic linked with a Bristol City player, Tommy Conway, who is with the Scotland squad. According to Bristol Live, Celtic are looking to try and sign this guy up. He's refused to sign a contract with his club. Celtic could get him for a mere £300,000 compensation, because he's free next summer, if they decide to let him go. But that's going to be an interesting one. He's a 21-year-old. He is a striker. Like, we went down that road with Johnny Kenny, and that didn't work out too well. Anyway, join me for the live at 8 p.m. Celtic part-time, where we'll talk about the speculation about Matt O'Reilly. We'll talk about the other news of the day. And we will talk about everything Celtic transfer, because it looks like the transfer window is about to open. Well, we all know it's about to open. And the transfer speculation has ramped right up this afternoon. Tell me what you think about the Matt O'Reilly one. Obviously, with Liam Scales, players talk to each other. Players talk to each other. And the fact that Liam Scales has come out and said, look, it's kind of putting pressure on Celtic to make sure that we get the Idah one done. It's obviously Celtic have made their interest known in Origin. They want to get it done and dusted also. But the fact that they sacked the manager because they didn't get promotion. Yep, they didn't get promotion. The new manager does want to have a look at Adam, which is fair enough. But anyway, the fact that he did score the goal in that last-minute winner against them, we need to keep on reminding ourselves that he did. I just think it's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. Let me check some Celtic headlines. Celtic fullback stirs support with a battle message after the hard-fought draw. It's not the fullback. That's the one and only Nico Kuhn. Nico Kuhn. That was a fantastic story, actually. And Sead Haksabanovic. What about him? What will happen to him? He's a player that went out on loan. He has no future at Celtic, the winger. But Sead Haksabanovic really needs to find himself a new team. He was sent to Stoke. He was sent to Stoke as a punishment. Let's face it, as a punishment to the fact that he started mouthing off and thinking he was better than he was. And Brendan Rodgers went, well, if that's the case, see you later. What will happen to him? Tommy Conway, 21-year-old striker. Is that what we really need right now going into the Champions League? A 21-year-old striker to come in? I think that's not really what we were looking for. He'll probably get put into the B team or something like that. You never know. He might be. What will happen to O? There's a question that hasn't been answered. I mean, people are still talking about us bringing in strikers. If you bring in this 21-year-old striker, what then happens to O? There's obviously nobody coming through the Celtic system that can dislodge O from his place in the team. Adam Idah walked straight into Celtic and he displaced O. O was never to be seen as soon as Adam Idah walked back into the team. If we're bringing in a 21-year-old Scotland player, you can understand why we're maybe doing it, but there's a big question then on O's Celtic future. Does he have what it takes? To be a Celtic player? Anyway, there's lots of speculation kicking around. Gustav Lagerbielke, Rocky out the door. Scott McKenna, that one reared its head again. Scott McKenna, we've been linked with Scott McKenna again. God, really? Is that the way you want to go, Celtic? Surely we're going to go out and spend some decent money this summer. Anyway, see you at 8 o'clock Celtic part-time.